Hey, Viking fans, with the Minnesota Vikings officially on bye, let's talk about what the rest of the season looks like for them and where do they stand in the playoff picture. Up next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Now, if you would, take a moment, go down and hit subscribe. If you're a first-time listener, please do. If you're a long-time listener and you still haven't subscribed, also please do. Make sure you hit like and leave a comment. That helps push the content out to more listeners, and I want you to be a part of it as I grow. Thank you so much for what you've done for me. I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you. Now let's talk about where the Vikings are at going into the bye week, 5-1. I did a schedule show where I predicted what the Vikings record would be, and I said 12-5, and I had us being 5-1 at this point. I had us going 7-1 before we started losing games, and I did say we'd lose the Eagles originally when I did that schedule. They proved me right then. Even though I picked them to win the week of, the Vikings to win the week of, they proved me wrong then. Anyways, let's talk about this. Let me get rid of Justin. Let me get rid of the mascot, the Purple Hulk. Get used to, if you're new, get used to seeing the Purple Hulk. Now, I got us 10-1. Let's get the standings. Let's go to the conference. National Football Conference. We got Philly at 6-0. Minnesota 5-1. New York Giants 5-1. Those are and then we got the Dallas Cowboys 4-2. Only teams over 500, guys. This is looking good. This is a playoff run. NFC, only 4 teams above 500. Let's quick look. What's the AFC? But look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 teams above 500. Anyways, this is prime time for us to make a playoff run. Let's do it. Now, Giants 5-1. Do they scare you? Do the Giants scare you? I don't know if they do. I would predict us to beat these guys. Dallas Cowboys, with Dak coming back, may scare me. 4-2. We play them at home, I believe. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3-3. San Fran, 3-3. I'm scared of their defense when it's healthy. Could we beat this team? What about in the playoffs? At home, with home field advantage against this team. You think we could pull it out? My bet would be yes. LA Rams, same deal. Not scared of them. And it's really starting to look like Kevin O'Connell, who was doing the install of the offense the weeks of games, that he had a lot to do with their success last year, especially how Matthew Stafford's played this year. Green Bay, 3-3, not looking good. They're struggling. That game at the end of the season may not even matter. 2 weeks left in the season. Atlanta, scrappy team. But we're better than them. They're a cheaper Giants team, That's the way I think of them. Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, probably comeback player of the year, if not MVP candidate right now. But are they still that scary, per se? I kind of compare them to the Saints. They got some weapon. They got a weapon, The New Orleans Saints, struggling. I don't think they're going to be coming back anytime soon. Washington Redskins, terrible team. Arizona Cardinals, we'll find out who we are after they get their Anthony Hopkins back. I think it's Anthony? Well, it's Hopkins. He's coming back, their best receiver. We'll see how we are against them. We have 2 weeks to self-scout, install the offense, get ready for these guys. Chicago Bears, even though they played us tough, they're still pretty deficient. Detroit, giving up the most points in the league. Carolina, terrible team. This is an NFC easy, set up so perfectly for us to be a 2 seed for sure. It's just looking good. And New York Giants are not a first seed, so they would not get a bye. Be nice to get that first seed and get that first round bye, but hey, Eagles got the tiebreaker in their game ahead. Let's talk about the schedule now. We beat Green Bay. Philly was a disaster. Detroit, comeback win. New Orleans, comeback win. Chicago, comeback win. Miami, played tough. We didn't make mistakes. Big plays. Defensive got after the quarterback and got sacks. Handled the run game. We just gave them the ball 14 times in this game, and we had a lot of 3-and-outs. So we struggled in that category. 3-and-outs this last game. It wasn't a problem in the previous game. So now we're 5-1. We got the bye week. We're going to play Arizona with their number 1 receiver back. Then there's Washington. I had picked us go 7-1 originally. I had us losing to Buffalo, so 7-2. Dallas. Dak's probably back, I think. We'll see how it goes. New England. This, I believe, is Thanksgiving. New York Jets. Looking a little tougher, but it's at home. Look at this home stretch. Dallas, New England, Jets. That's going to be nice. That is going to be nice. Then we play Detroit. Our fans travel well. We'll probably be buying up all the tickets because they'll be out of playoff contention. Then Indianapolis. But we can beat that team. We can beat that team. New York Giants also can beat them. They look like we did when we were 2012 when Adrian Peterson got 2,000 yards. That's kind of what they look like. They're not scary. We just got to contain the run. We'll see. Green Bay Packers, they're terrible. Absolutely doing terrible right now. And then the Chicago Bears, they'll have nothing to play for last game this season. We end those with 2 road games, and then hopefully we have a bye, or at the worst a home game that next week. But we will have been tested. We've been tested at 5-1. We'll be tested on the road to end the season. We'll have that down. We'll have hopefully the home field game, at least 2 of them, being the 2nd seed. Then we'll be playing the NFC title game. It's a lot to hopefully, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is set up. This is set up for us to do so well. Now, who scares you in this? Who scares you with this? In this, maybe the Cowboys with that defense and with Dak coming back and they have some offensive weapons. That might be scary. Buffalo's scary. Is New England scary? Is the Jets scary? Is Detroit? Is Indy? Is the Giants? Is Green Bay? Is Chicago? Arizona? Washington? Are any of those scary? All winnable games. You could literally make an argument that we only one of these games is pretty much we're not going to be favored in. Maybe the Cowboys would be the second. So let's say we lose to those 2 games. My friends, the Vikings would be 14-3. With the 2 teams I think we'd probably not be favored against when we face them. Maybe we were not favored with Green Bay. Let's say we lose that game. We're 13-4. But that's it. Those are the 3 games I think we would not be favored in. And I think honestly we might be favored against Green Bay at that point in the season. But right now we might not have been. Like if we went there right now, we might not be favored, even though we're playing better than they are. But I'm thinking my 12-5 is pretty safe. I'm feeling pretty good about that 2nd seed. That's pretty safe right now. 2 games up on the next team that would be this possible who could potentially get the 2nd seed. Poor Giants. They can't be because they're just got the Eagles are doing better than them. They got a 6-0 record. All right, that's it. Tell me what you think below. What's our record? Tell me what our record is going to be. I want to hear it. Tell me what you think after looking at the schedule, seeing what we got coming up. Tell me, where do you think we'll be at the end of the season? First seed, second seed. Tell me our record. Tell me if Green Bay is going to come back. I don't know. I want to hear it. That's it. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. See you next time. Cue the music. Thank you, Viking fans, for listening. Make sure you catch my other episodes. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Thank you. Skull Vikes.